What's good, you creeps? It's Joshua from the Based on True Events podcast. Unfortunately, Shep couldn't be here with me today, so I'm going to have to do this one solo. So check this out, all right? If you guys haven't heard about Anchor, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. Now, let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. It's super easy to do, actually. Anchor will distribute that podcast for you, so it can be heard on like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast too, but the cool thing is you can do it with no minimum listenership. So what that means is if nobody listens to you, you still get paid. That's what's up. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. And this is where I wish Shep was with me, because he'd end the show something cool like shoot or something cool along those lines. Hey, check out Anchor, you guys. Keep listening to the Based on True Events podcast. New episodes are posted every Sunday and Wednesday.
Back at it again.
What's going on, man?
Shit.
We're just telling a story at the end of the day.
You can enjoy a fully clothed, totally platonic cuddle session. Not sure what we're doing.
Are these lines safe? Yeah, we can literally say anything we want.
Talk mad shit.
Please continue to follow us. You can find us on all social medias.
All social medias.
All social medias.
All podcasts.
Everywhere that you could listen to a podcast, we're pretty much there. You said go-higgity. Giggity.
What's that, man?
Chillin'. It was
Oh, are you? Are you actually chilling?
I'm actually chilling, like literally. Now I am. Fuck, dude.
That's fabulous.
Little man's been on a rampage today, so I was kind of like, fuck yeah, let's do this, you know. And like, sorry, wife, welcome home. We had some dinner. Hey, I'm going to go to the basement, and you're on your own.
Yeah.
I always feel a little guilty.
I mean,
just a little.
Yeah, like I was saying something to my wife when I was leaving. I was like, hey, I'm going to dip out a little early tonight, but I mean, my wife's really
you get home
board.
earlier, right? I mean,
yeah, no, dude, we don't get home any earlier.
My wife
just because we start earlier doesn't mean we get done.
Yeah, she goes, you guys used to like it would take you literally 2 hours. Now it's like 2.5 sometimes. I'm like, well,
yeah.
Our episodes have ran longer though.
Yeah, they have.
We started off at pretty solid like 45.
Yeah.
Now we're either right at an hour or a little bit over.
Yeah, our bad, guys. We get to gabbing.
Yeah, and truthfully, I could probably go in and edit like parts of the beginning and end, but fuck it, right?
I feel like don't fucking rip that shit out. Like, no, I like that, you know.
Well, and I'm lazy, so I'm not going to.
So speaking of the kid thing, man, you said your kid's been a monster today. And nothing.
Just go.
Nothing in my life has prepared me for the idea that while I'm sitting down to take a shit, that my kid will walk into the bathroom, square up with me, and be like, "Pick me up." Like,
oh no!
Put me in your lap while you're shitting, and I'm like, I don't know how to parent that.
Like hold me?
Yeah, I'm like, I was like, go get your car, like go into the other room,
go play
and do
with something.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I can't shut the door and just you know, and I'm nervous. So he'll come in, and we've got him the little. My sister gave us the training potty.
Right. Oh yeah.
He's not using that yet, but every once in a while he'll come and just sit down, and I'm just like, this is hilarious. I'm like sitting there, and dude's sitting there. I'm like, all right, father and son time, bro.
Yeah.
He hasn't. Well, once I guess he tried to ask me to pick him up, and that's not gonna happen.
He straight up did that shit to me this morning.
Well, now he knows how to flush the toilet, so he's just going, and I'm like, all right, dude, a little pre-flush. All right, fair enough.
But he loves walking up on me and mid shit.
I'm not gonna hold you.
Well, I don't pick him up. Like
I'll draw the line.
I'm just like, I'll bang on the wall and be like, yell at my wife, like, can you come get him, like, please?
Oh no, straight up. If my wife's home,
oh yeah,
no, that's like, and half of the time I'm like, Yeah, I got to go to the bathroom, and I know I'm just sitting there like fucking posting shit. And I'm like,
Yeah. So.
I feel kind of good. I'm like, all right, I'm hiding at this
I'll
point.
I'll get up. I'll do that. I'll do something.
Yeah, fair enough.
So one quick story, and then we'll get into the business.
Dig in. All right.
So we were waiting. We ordered pizza for dinner tonight, and
Where from?
Hometown Pizza.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn, it's been a long time. They have one here?
Dude, they're all over the place, man. Well, they're not all over the place.
I thought that was like
but-
a family business in fucking...
Dude, there's a lot of
Crestwood or
locations,
something.
man. There's a lot of locations.
All right.
So we ordered from Taylorsville Road location, actually.
Oh, no
3.5 miles from my house.
Right on.
Actually, no. We
That means I can order
I
from
lied, dude. I ordered Beer Nose Pizza.
You fucking liar.
But we were going to order Hometown Pizza, and then something happened. Like, their online ordering at Hometown Pizza is just
Not up to snuff.
abysmal.
Yeah.
So I was just like, dude, I'm out. Like, fuck you. Like, put $20 down. Figure it out. But no, like, so we had like the front blinds open. We're sitting there at like family moment, kids playing, wife and I are sitting there. And I see that the neighbor, he's got 3 kids, and they're all standing out in the driveway. Like, he's got his phone up in the, and he like focused up in the air, like, you know, like if you were recording.
Like a selfie?
No, like if you're like recording like an eclipse or like a plane flying over or some shit. And they're out there for like 5-10 minutes, and I'm like,
what the fuck are y'all looking at?
My wife's like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, I don't know. So I literally like walked out there, and I was like, I haven't watched the news all day. Is everything all right?
What's
and
going
like,
on?
Yeah. And he was like, oh man, there's birds flying.
The ghetto bird?
No. He was like blue herrings are migrating or whatever. And I was like,
Yawn.
I was like,
I
oh.
fell asleep halfway through that sentence.
Yeah. But my wife was immediately like, are there aliens? Like,
yeah.
you know, are we being invaded? Like, what's something going on? And, you know, so we had this conspiracy theory in the house rolling.
Right.
And then so I go out there like crazy tin hat neighbor where I'm like, is everything okay? And he's like,
birds.
Yeah, dude, we're looking at birds, man. Go the fuck back inside, creepy.
That's awesome.
Like,
First of all, if there's an alien, like, you know, hovering above, a UFO hovering above, don't you think he'd be a little bit more, you could tell the difference?
He had the kids out there and
Right.
shit. And I'm just like, but no, none of that stuff registered. I was just like, oh. I was like, I'm going to come out here and there's going to be something super cool. And I'm like, oh, birds.
Well, we've been doing a bunch of alien shit, so it's on the brain.
It's on the brain. Wife's listening to all our stuff too, so you know
that's good. I guess.
Well, no, I mean that's fine. Like,
I want her feedback, so that is good. 'Cause she'll tell us
I'm
straight
glad.
up.
Like, the more interested she's in it, you know,
Yeah, that's true.
The more likely she is to allow us to
support.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to say
walk
allow, but the truth is,
Yeah.
they allow us to do this shit.
Yeah, so
There's no fucking.
but no, but it has changed her like viewing of
Me?
no, like Netflix.
Oh.
Like her interest on the Netflix.
Well, she's fucking scaring herself late at night, dude.
Yeah.
You're getting the text like,
some shit's going down.
You're like, stop watching
I'm like,
true crime shit alone.
yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? I don't even do that.
Well, what was funny, you told me she was watching, who was it? And you're like, well, dude would be like 85.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't remember if we did that when we were recording or not.
Yeah,
but-
she was watching the Zodiac Killer and she was freaking out, or watching the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and like Robert Downey Jr. on the Zodiac Killer. And I was like, you realize that dude's like 90 something now, right?
If he does,
if
come
he's
to the
still
door.
alive, like if he comes to the door, man, kick his walker out from underneath him
Yeah,
and
right.
just fucking truck his ass.
If Jake Gyllenhaal shows up,
Well, yeah.
fucking,
but you know,
you've got bigger problems to worry about if Jake Gyllenhaal shows up.
yeah, like just send me alimony checks.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I can't really compete with
That's
that. So.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's kind of where my day, or you know, that's how my day started.
Bird watching,
Bird watching.
Sweet.
So.
Right on, man. Well, hell.
What about you? Just the kid? You and the kid?
Yeah, man. I don't have any cool stories, to be honest with you.
All right, cool.
It literally, he was just wild today, so
Cool.
I was stoked to get down here and
On
do
to
this.
the next subject.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, we've talked about it, and we're like, do we stop talking about our kids and shit? Well, truthfully, this is what is fucking our lives.
Yeah,
like this
that's
is
what
what
we
goes
talk
on
about.
before we come down here. So
That's
fucking.
what we talk about.
This is what. Yeah.
I mean, I like don't want to talk about work.
No.
So
Absolutely
I
not.
like my kid. I like my family. I love my wife. So it's like, all right, I'm going to talk about that stuff.
Right.
So.
Well, and the whole thing is like we're literally going through this fatherhood shit like at the same exact time. So of course we're going to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean that is kind of an odd blessing that it was like a week apart. We had kids.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy actually.
Yeah,
We couldn't have planned it.
I think wasn't I like one of the first people your wife actually told?
Yeah.
You guys
So
were pregnant?
when you were telling that story about like you were
seeing her in the
playing the joke on me, but I thought you were talking about like literally. She told you, I think, and then was like, "Oh shit!" Like she felt bad because she thought like I would want to like do a big like reveal or some shit, and I was like, "Well, I kind of like you kind of stole my shit," but at the same time, like whatever, it's cool, you know.
Yeah. That was the most discombobulated
because I think you were like,
well,
okay."
We had found out that we were pregnant.
Oh right, did I know you?
You didn't know. Like I hadn't told anybody.
Okay.
And I was literally like, I think I was buying a pregnancy test at Kroger.
Right, literally.
And I'm like walking around and I'm grabbing all these things and like I'm kind of in my own world, like, you know, and she stopped me because, you know, I was in my like shopping days. I usually put headphones in and like I just try not to make eye contact with anybody.
Don't
Move as
talk
quick
to me.
as possible. And she was like, you know, she said, "Hey, Eric." I was like, "Hey." And she goes, "How are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm fine." And then she goes, "We're pregnant." And I was like, "Oh,
just
congratulations."
like no setup.
Like no setup.
Hey, have you talked to John?
Yeah, no, it wasn't any like there was no foreplay in the conversation. It was just, "Oh, hey, I'm pregnant." And it was like, "Oh,
good to see you too."
I was like, and then immediately I was like, "Well, do I tell her that we're pregnant?" I was like, "I haven't told him yet. I haven't told anyone really."
Yeah, I think she was like, so maybe like don't, or I can't remember what happened. The whole thing was like, okay, like, are you supposed to let me know that she told you? I was like, this is fucking complicated, so whatever.
Yeah, so
I think when I told you, you're like, yeah, we are too, or
yeah,
I think that's how it went down.
Yeah, that's how it went down. But like, I think I was like putting little booby traps in text messages to you for about a week or two before you actually told me. I was like, I would say something and it would be kind of like a cloaked, like,
and I'm just like, nope.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
That's funny.
So
here we are, figuring this shit out.
Being new dads,
one day at a time,
podcasts,
man.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of podcast, you want to get down?
Yeah, let's do it.
I think you're up.
Well, how about if you want to interact with us on the Instagram or the Facebook?
I was going to blow right past it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so we
if you want to tell us to stop talking about our children,
our children, or interject any commentary that you would,
or give us some advice,
please reach out to us.
Hit us up on the social medias.
Based on True Events Podcast on Instagram and Facebook.
That's right. And on the Twitter, you can hit us up at Podcast BOTE, Podcast BOTE.
That's right.
If you don't get on Facebook or any of the social media sites, then you can Gmail us
at Based on True Events Podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. We still got the competition going. I wrote for BOTE. We pick our favorite suggestion for the month, and we'll send your ass a free T-shirt.
Yup. And then we've, of course, got our field trip episode with an open-ended delivery date.
Sometime when it's warm. We'll just say that. Warmer.
The warmer climate.
Yeah, you choose, we lose. I guess that's the official name of it.
Yeah, the you choose, we lose.
We're going to go to one of the 4 locations that we gave you guys. You're going to vote on it. It's either going to be the Hannah House, Waverly Hills, Whistler's Estate, or Punderson Manor. Nope.
Punderson Manor.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it Whistler's Estate or Whispers?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, well.
Whispers Estate. It's not Whistler's. I think I've said Whistler's like 2 or 3 episodes.
Okay.
On point as usual, folks.
I think the only 2 that are really in the running at this point are Waverly and Punderson.
Yeah, Punderson.
I think people want us to go to Punderson because it's a shithole.
Because it's a shithole with like a 1-star Yelp review.
Meanwhile, there's probably like a couple listeners that actually know of Punderson. They're like, that place is cool.
Or they're like, please, by the way, if you've been to any of these locations, give us a heads up because, fuck it. If it sucks for real, like, hey, there's no rules here. We'll take that shit off of the plate.
Yeah. But thank you everybody for your your comments and
Support.
suggestions and support. Man, we really love it.
3,000 listens is crazy.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Is that Valley Girl? It's crazy. Like totally.
It's crazy.
Ugh. Okay. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's change that real quick.
Enjoy that.
Yeah. All right. Well, shit. Yeah, we do appreciate it. So keep that shit coming, guys.
Yep.
Oh, and shit, we always forget to mention it. Rock the Boat is our Facebook group where I guess it's technically a little bit different than our page because we would prefer to interact in the group.
Yeah, and that's a good place for like if you guys want to get in on social media and just yell at each other.
Hell yeah,
and comment. Then you can enjoy the Instagram the Facebook tomfoolery of bitching at someone online.
Absolutely, and we will sit back and watch and interject.
Yeah, no, I'm not interjecting.
I'll interject on behalf of Shep.
To the death.
Yeah, to the death. Last one standing.
Yeah,
no holds barred.
Right.
But yeah, keep it coming. The suggestions are awesome, and we're doing one tonight, I think.
Yeah.
Shep's doing one tonight.
Yeah, man. I'm doing one tonight, man. Fuck that.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, man. We're doing John Paul.
Yeah, Joppa's. This is my brother.
Suggestion.
And I'll be honest with you.
You taught me into
Paul,
this.
when
you taught me into this episode because there was no fucking way I was doing this episode.
Well, I said that it would be better if you did it than if I did it because you can kind of do it in your own way. And if I did it, it was going to be nothing but bullshit. I roll. You know what I mean? I think Bigfoot's a cool ass story. And you've even said it in one of the episodes that there's some compelling, stories. Or maybe you didn't use the word compelling, but there's some pretty cool shit out there, involving it. So I'm interested to see what you're going to bring and if you're going to be just totally cynical and bash it the whole time, or if I don't know. So okay. I'm going along for a ride here.
So for anyone who didn't glean the episode out of that little, pitch at the beginning, we're doing Bigfoot tonight.
Yeah,
Sascrotch.
Thanks, John Paul.
Yeah, so listener suggested, and I really, between you and the idea that I won't have to do this episode again unless they actually find one of these fuckers,
right?
They put a skeleton up or something.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so
they haven't found one.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Get there.
Well, yeah, so since I just did the Kentucky Goblins, I figured this is a really good episode to follow up.
A good time to follow up.
Yeah, so
cryptozoology.
Again, John Paul,
episodes.
Thanks for the suggestion. I didn't think Eric was going to do it, but here we are.
So
let's go.
So Bigfoot. So most everybody, I'll say it that way. Almost everybody has probably seen the old school 1967 video of Bigfoot strolling.
I thought you were going to say Harry and the Hendersons
through the canyon.
Yeah, the real famous one.
And the reason that one's famous is I didn't really know this going into it. And there were some contemporary movies that had come out at the same time. I mean, I knew that the movies had come out. But I didn't realize that was kind of what a lot of people use to credit the film of the Bigfoot as being accurate and being a real film, is because Planet of the Apes had come out at the same time.
Oh, no shit.
And, if you look at the special effects and the costume design, they won an Academy Award for the costume design of the original Planet of the Apes.
Shit was badass, man, back in the day especially.
So then if you look at those two, if you look at the Bigfoot film and you compare it to Planet of the Apes looks like dog shit compared to the Bigfoot
footage, yeah.
Of
Do you know where that was supposed?
Where the
Bigfoot?
It was Colorado or something.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I don't know. I didn't really dig into that video very much. I mean, I did actually do some research on that video. And I'm gonna tell part of that story.
Right.
But I think I'll tell the probably the most famous.
Here's where we get to Harry and the Hendersons. Fantastic.
The most famous interaction between Sasquatch and like famous story wise.
All right.
And it starts with a family who'd gone camping, actually I think it was southern Washington State.
It's not Chicago.
Not Chicago. We're out of Chicago, man. And literally, this family goes camping for the weekend. They get in the car, and they're driving home. It's like late at night, and they hit something with their car. And they're like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?"
This is Harry and the Hendersons, by the way.
Well, that's where the story came from, man.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, fuck.
It's Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh,
man.
God damn it.
But no, they're the main guy that he's like.
That's fun.
I was literally going to tell you the beginning of Harry and the Hendersons and be like, "This is the story."
But I wouldn't shut up. I fucking spoiled it.
Yeah.
Shit. Still hilarious.
No, but I mean, literally, that is Harry and the Hendersons is really like where we have a lot of our kind of tropes of Bigfoot.
Right.
And it's, you kind of like sit there and you think like, okay, like where the fuck does any of this come from?
Yeah.
There's a ton, so Bigfoot is a story that we have, and Patty is the name of Bigfoot from that original video. And that was
really? They named it Patty, huh?
Well, apparently.
Okay.
It is named Patty. That you can look that up.
All right.
But the reason it's named Patty,
like Nellie, isn't that the Loch Ness monster?
Yeah,
Nessie.
So when you're doing research about this stuff, by the way,
it's
like the same 5 dudes that
really?
they're like, oh, I also research.
I referenced Joe. And Joe referenced Dave.
Yeah. They all like get together and circle jerk and shit. It's pretty fucked up. But
play that footage again.
So the big thing about the original video is the 2 dudes that released it, and it's actually named after him. It's like the Gremlins. Gremlin is that one. Patterson Gremlin, I think, is the name of the video. But they were like rodeo dudes. Like they didn't really have.
When you say rodeo, like
they worked on
like cowboys.
Yeah, cowboys.
Yeah, okay.
And they were kind of out, and they were just doing their thing, and they grabbed the camera and they shot this video. Well, they didn't really have a history in cinema, or they weren't really connected with Hollywood proper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when I was saying the part about the Planet of the Apes and having that is the contemporary kind of branch of what was going on, that kind of shows like the pinnacle of what practical special effects at the time should have been able to accomplish. So in 1967 is when that video came out.
All right.
And it still hasn't officially been debunked. Okay.
Oh shit.
So
all right.
Everyone's
obviously saying it's a dude in a get up. Is that the biggest argument?
That is
across
the argument.
That's right.
That is the argument.
It's never like it's a bear standing up. No. It's always like it's a dude dressed up and it's a hoax.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the big.
So that I give that to you as premise because that's going to kind of lead me to this story. So another contemporary Bigfoot piece for that time period was this gentleman's story, and they actually just declassified basically the correspondence between this dude and the FBI. In this case is from the 1970s, and it was a gentleman who basically he sent off a hair and skin sample to the FBI and was like, dude, this is fucking Bigfoot. Like, this is a hair sample. This is,
How did he get the fucking skin sample? I mean, the hair, I guess, could be on like a tree or something.
Well, the hair was in the skin.
Oh, right.
It was like a chunk.
Right.
Had been, and I don't really remember. Like, and when I was reading, it didn't really say where they found this chunk. But I just know this dude. He sent it off to the FBI in the 1970s. He was very aggressive about getting an answer back from the FBI.
He wanted that Bigfoot money.
Well, and this dude, he apparently had a sighting, and then he went like full bore researching Bigfoot, and like he went to like Nepal and Tibet, and he was looking for the Yeti.
Dang.
He was doing all this stuff, and yes, I'm going to talk about footprints.
Okay. Yeti and Sasquatch and Bigfoot, it's all the same thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I was like, you hesitated.
Well, no, it's climate based, but yes, Yeti is
Right.
cold weather.
Sasquatch
Bigfoot.
is like a polar bear versus
No,
Bigfoot's a black bear.
Sasquatch is Pacific Northwest or basically North America.
All
Yeti and abominable snowmen would be
Okay.
Tibet, Nepal.
Abominable snow. I
Cold.
forgot about that one.
Yeah, it's the same fucking thing, man. Well, anyway, they're lumped together. They could be supposedly they could be two different species, but it's
Yeah, okay.
let's find one and then have a fucking
and then
conversation.
we'll go from there.
So anyway, this guy.
I take it you don't believe in Bigfoot. All right.
So in 1976, he managed to get the FBI this hair and tissue sample that he believed helped his case. And then in these, basically, the FBI actually fucking moved pretty quickly on it. I don't know. I think this is weird. Like, so a lot of people send shit to the FBI, and they're like, "Hey, this is what's going on." Right? The FBI has they're criminal investigators.
Give it to the new guy.
Right. But they're not cryptozoologists, they're not biologists.
That's true.
They don't have any reason to look into
Why
any
is
of
the
this
FBI
stuff.
going on and not like the animal
like
wildlife
Wildlife,
whatever.
So
Bill's like, damn it.
I guess they weren't as busy as they could have been in the mid 70s.
Another
So they
Sasquatch
actually sent this stuff off. Like it took them about 16 months, but they ended up sending this stuff off.
Damn, that's moving fast.
The
16 months.
Well, for them to be like, that's literally like somebody coming into your work where you sell vacuums and fucking sewing machines, and them coming into your place and be like, "Can you do eye surgery?"
Right.
And you're like, "Well,
give me a while.
Give me like 16 months. I'll figure some shit
I'll
out."
figure it out. I gotta Google a little bit, but
so they analyzed the hair in connection with the search for Sasquatch, aka Bigfoot. They actually, so the dude who sent it in, his name is Peter Byrne. He's 93 years old right now, or he was at the
literally
time,
Mr. Burns
at the time of this article's being written. He did not remember this that he'd even sent this thing off. To the FBI.
Oh, he's old.
But he had dedicated his entire life to the search for Bigfoot, which I immediately. When you dedicate your whole life to something like this, I feel like I don't trust anything you have to say.
Well, all that I go to is immediately like, God, what a life of disappointment.
Right.
Like, fuck.
So anyway,
dude.
So
he
describes his search for Bigfoot as it's a great challenge.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah.
Shit sounds hard.
Yeah, dude, you go find something that
it's not there.
Arguably does not exist.
Yeah,
right. So anyway, so his search for these lost primates has taken him to the Himalayas in the search for the Yeti, all over the Pacific Northwest. He actually his first attempt was in Bombay in India with the Royal Air Force. That's where he kind of started looking for the Yeti. But
he had the Air Force helping him?
Yeah. So, well, I don't know about that, but he was definitely like over there, like, hey,
take me up in one of your
So I'm not going to dig too fucking deep into the conversation about the FBI, other than the fact that the FBI actually sends this hair and tissue sample off to essentially a university, and the university's like, they put it through all their tests. They look at the saturation of hair for the amount of tissue, and what other animals kind of have that, like what the structure is.
Right, they're comparing it to.
They did their due diligence.
Yeah.
Okay, so and actually the more interesting than any of this story is that the FBI will occasionally do that. They will occasionally look into things that are not their charge.
Just mailed into them.
Well, I don't know about mailed into them, but like the Sasquatch,
right?
Aliens, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They will occasionally.
It's probably got to be pretty compelling evidence, right?
To me, this reads like you're saying you're sending us hair and tissue. We're making sure this isn't a human.
A human, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
yeah, dude.
So,
what if somebody did send that shit in? Oh, dude, I swear to God, I found it out in the fucking woods.
I swear to God, man. So anyway,
this backfired.
They do the research on this thing, and it's a deer. Like the skin and hair was a deer from a deer.
Damn.
And then so this guy was like, okay.
Do deer have like really short hair?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I guess
dude, I'm not.
Their ears have. Yeah, fuck. All right.
I have no idea. Maybe there's mangy deer. I don't. Damn hippie deer.
Hippie deer.
But so there's also the conversation that he had taken pictures while he was in like Nepal or in the Himalayas of these footprints, right?
Yeah, all right.
And these footprints have dermal ridges. Okay.
He took me to task for the fucking
footprints
for the Kentucky Goblin's footprint.
So anyway, he's got these pictures of these footprints from the Yeti, and supposedly from the Yeti,
right?
And then when challenged on it, he literally admitted, he conceded the fact that he had seen shaman walking in the snow at elevations of like 15,000 feet with no shoes on. And the footprints could have very well been the footprint.
Big ass footed.
Well, yeah, but his pictures never had anything to like compare size. Like the perspective just showed a footprint in snow.
Oh, right. So there's no telling size. Right. Okay, I got you. They're like, well, dude, if you saw the motherfucker walking,
yeah,
but probably what it is.
So it kind of reminds me of the dude from the Willow's Weep story, where it's like, yeah, dude, if you're the one, if you're the dude selling the book, I don't believe any of the stuff that you're telling me about why the book should be,
right.
You know.
This is why you should buy my book.
Yeah, it's because this place is haunted. Well, none of the fucking neighbors say it's haunted. Like, you know, nobody else has seen a Yeti.
They're barbecuing.
Yeah.
Outside, like they're that scared of shit.
Yeah, that crazy dude who's getting his toes sawed off right now for frostbite, just like he's pretty pissed that he's not getting a cut on the monies.
Yeah, it was my footprint.
So anyway, so there's a guy, and so getting back to the original part of this story is the original video.
Right.
Okay. The one that everybody knows of Patty. Right.
God.
A gentleman in 2005 passed a lie detector test. On national television, actually, admitting that he was the man inside the suit in the Yeti film,
oh, shit, really?
In the Bigfoot film. And there's another gentleman who does have connections to Hollywood and practical special effects that literally shows a replica of the suit that was used to...
That's pretty debunked.
Yeah. Well, but there's also the other side of this conversation that says, okay, well, these guys are just trying to get famous too, and they're full of shit too.
And anybody can pass a lie detector, right?
So essentially, this whole thing is that's the conversation. This is the part of the story that pisses me off, I think, the most, is that you're more credible, fucking hurts me just to say it, more credible Bigfoot enthusiasts or researchers,
right?
They all use the footprints as the smoking gun of
the proof, the evidence
that these fucking things exist.
Yeah, you really hate footprints.
It's just nothing to me, man. It doesn't seem like it's difficult to fucking do a fucking footprint. You know?
Right. I mean, I always think immediately of, okay, the crop circle people. They can literally put boards on their feet and make these masterpieces.
Right.
Somebody could fucking,
especially today,
make a Bigfoot Bigfoot replica or whatever and walk around in snowshoes.
But in like the dermal ridges thing, like that thing, like it drives me fucking crazy that people are like, well, but it shows little ridges.
Well, they
just
could
like
literally
footprint.
carve that shit out and make fucking realistic feet.
Or like,
you know,
like I can dip my foot in plaster and get the fucking footprint and then just enlarge it. Like, why is this difficult? Like, why am I the only one having this conversation? But anyway, there's these like two dudes.
I'm sure you're not.
There's like these two dudes that are like really high up in their field of researching Bigfoot. One guy's actually a professor at a fucking college, which I would immediately withdraw from the college.
I'm sure I'd drop the class.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm out. Like, fuck you.
See, I would stick around
Like,
because he's got to be a weird dude. That'd be fun.
Well, like literally, like he shows like in class shows the video of Patty walking through the canyon, and he's like that's like one of the things he does. He has his whole fucking class like point out major muscle groups that you see in the video. And so they go through and he's like showing like, oh, like here's the trapezoids, here's the deltoids, here's this, here's that. The only way that they could have done the only way that this happens is if it's an actual animal. And if you look at it in comparison to something contemporary of the time, which is Planet of the Apes just looks like a bunch of fucking homers wrapped up in, you know,
right.
monkey suits.
Yeah.
So like, how is this
Homers.
so high up on the you know skill level?
Right.
When things are winning Academy Awards for really just
Realistic monkey outfits.
monkey suits.
Right.
He's like that. You know, that's a major discrepancy that he sees. He's written like a book or two on it. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Like, I legitimately don't. Because one of the things that he really pushes is the footprint thing, and it has to do with like a pressure point on the footprints. And the pressure point of the footprint shows that, you know, when you push off, you use the front of your foot, and so that's going to be deeper in the mud.
Yeah, the weight of you're right.
Right, and then there's the dermal ridges, and the foot's big.
But if
right?
they're wearing a
But if you're wearing a foot,
yeah,
you're
right.
going to be walking the same way that you normally would fucking walk, which is going to be pushing off. It's so fucking aggravating to me. Okay, so it's either a bear or a dude in a suit. That's all the fucking shit that happened. Like, you know how I usually kind of keep the door open on a lot of these stories?
It could be that, right. Yeah, you've been pretty fair, actually, across the board.
I don't believe in Bigfoot.
Right, okay.
Okay, for a few reasons. Okay. It's 2020.
Right.
There are a lot of rednecks with guns, especially in our country, and especially in the wildernesses of Canada.
That's my main argument. I know what you're about to say. They would have killed one. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Because as we talked about in my episode, them boys can shoot. Them girls can shoot too.
Yeah. And, you know, they're not just going to be okay with, oh, I saw something weird in the woods, I'm going to let it go. No, dude, they're going to fucking hunt that shit. Yeah. And my thing with, you know, one thing that a lot of people that use to try to debunk these says, you know, well, we've never found a skeleton out in the woods. Well, you don't really find skeletons out in the woods very often. Like, animals scavenge it and pull shit away and take it away.
Right.
But, dude,
and in the woods, dude, that's hard. You're not going to.
We have literally stripped this planet of almost all of its natural resources to a certain extent. There is really not too many dark corners of this planet, especially in the United States, where people don't just happen upon things.
Somebody hasn't been gone camping.
There would be the story of I hit one with my car, and here's a picture of it.
Right.
You know, it would be like it would have happened.
Right.
At this point, you know, 1967 is when the first so-called video came out. It was a legend far before that, when it came to Native American legend of, you know, the Northwest and things like that. To me, it has always just been, I think it's just trash, man. I think it's a boogeyman story from the Native Americans that kind of filtered into common culture. They're bears, man. They're bears.
So I agree. So if Bigfoot existed, we would have found one. That's the biggest for me. We would have killed one. Right. Somebody would have either accidentally or shot one or ran one over, whatever. The only thing I guess my question is, how can there be so many people that are they have so many shows now? And I know it's a show, so it could be all set up, but there's all these true believers that go out and they're doing Bigfoot calls. Like, how do they, and they're getting responses and shit. I mean, there's something out there.
So some of the stuff that I've because I've morbid curiosity or whatever it is. Like I've watched a couple of these shows, and these especially the guys that go out and actively look for. All right.
Oh yeah, and they're like, hoo,
yeah,
they're doing the weird Bigfoot call, and there's a response. And I'm like, isn't that an echo? But,
well, but not even that. It's like, well, fuck, man. How do you know what the fuck this thing sounds like? And
how do you know the Bigfoot call? Right.
And the second thing is okay, if you think that they're this super high primate, that are supposed to be kind of rival us in intelligence. Yeah. Why are they responding? Why they're
trying to hide?
Yeah, they're like, cool.
They're not curious. Trust me. If they were curious, we would have seen one.
Right.
Well, and, literally.
Well, but the other thing is there's just all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, especially now, with advances in technology, drone technology.
Yeah, yeah.
You have infrared and night vision cameras. You have drones that can cover vast areas.
Yeah, yeah.
And just canvas shit. And you're telling me that these fucking...
They didn't catch one?
They haven't caught one. They haven't seen one. They've got footprints in the mud.
Right. The best footage that I ever saw, and I've watched a bunch of Bigfoot videos, because I'm with you. I'm like, man, this is just... It's guilty pleasure, it's entertaining, and also curiosity. I'm like, fuck, let me see a new the greatest proof. I'm like, well, I'm gonna click that shit. I am. Well, it was a drone, and it was way up, and they're like, you see the thing running, and it starts running real fast, faster than a bear could run in theory, but it's so high up that you can't even really spot it until they show the video where they circle it. You know what I mean? Because you can't see it. But then it actually zooms down, and you see it run. It looks like it's up on its hind feet, but you see it kind of run, and then it ducks behind a tree. It's pretty cool, but again, it could be a bear. Who knows what it could be? It could be a dude in a suit.
Right.
But it was cool as hell, and I was like, dude, if there's a Bigfoot, they caught it on tape. Because it's the most believable one I've seen. Yeah. The old one, it looks like an animal, a suit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't. So I agree with you that I don't, like I said, I have to draw my line of what I believe in, and goblins and fairies and Bigfoot, unfortunately, are among those that I'm not a believer of.
Here's as far as I'm willing to take it.
Yeah.
Is if maybe, let's say that this thing is an existent creature, right?
Right.
It's extinct at this point.
Oh, it's come and gone.
Yeah, I mean, that is the only thing that I'm legitimately willing to say about it. I mean, there's so many things that, I've gone camping for years and years. I haven't been in a while, but I was out in the woods, and I've been in caves, and I've done shit like that.
Yeah.
Even with my time in the woods, there's stuff that you hear at night that I'm like, dude, what the fuck is that? And somebody's like, oh, that's a fox.
Yeah.
That makes a weird noise. Yeah, dude.
It might have been the blue people story, the same trip. I don't remember, but there was one part, and I vividly remember we were lost, and we heard it was a weird growl, kind of high pitch, and they were like, oh, that's a fucking mountain lion, or whatever. And I was like, hold up, why are you so calm? What do you mean it's a fucking a large cat?
Yeah, it's
it spooked me, man. But it sounded like something
I don't think
otherworldly.
I don't think that was the blue people trip, by the way.
Okay, it may not have been, but it sounded otherworldly. Let's just put it at that.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, so there's shit out there that who knows.
Yeah, man, and
the people who are avid, they know every sound, every mating call, every whatever,
I will. Okay, so
they debunk all that shit.
Yeah. So, one of the big things about Bigfoot is there are a couple people that, I was saying, I mean, there's that dude that's a professor. He legitimately believes, and he teaches his fucking class about it.
Well, he has to believe because he wants people to take him seriously. And if he's not.
I mean, I'm not saying and
serious conviction.
They're definitely higher in their field, and
right.
blah, 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 XYZ. I mean, I just don't think it's that hard to fucking fake this.
To fake it.
Like,
well, there's been tons that people have said, yeah, that was faked, or people who were going, let me show you how easy it is to make a video. I watched a couple of those where they're like, look, our video looks dope.
yeah.
That was dude in a suit.
And it took us 20 minutes to fucking workshop it.
Right, exactly.
So,
well, especially now with special effects,
Yeah.
with
I mean, I don't see how we wouldn't have killed one.
I agree.
And-
I don't really know if anybody can argue that.
And the other side of this is like these people who like, well, it's a conspiracy. Like, what the fuck would the government
What's
have
the
holding?
conspiracy?
Like, why would they cover this up? Like, why do they care?
Right.
You know,
There's no Bigfoot conspiracy.
there's
Who
no
gives
big.
a shit?
They're crazy alien primates that were brought here by spaceship Jesus.
Right. They're like super soldiers of some sort that have escaped.
The men in black are really just here to protect the identities of all the Sasquatchy,
all the patties out there.
all the patties out there.
Now, this, by the way, is going exactly like I thought, because I figured we would agree on this.
Yeah,
I didn't. Did you think I was going to be like full on like, oh yeah, Bigfoot? I mean,
No.
you okay, good.
No,
You call me a true believer, and you're right about a lot of stuff, but
No.
again, I draw the line at ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
Ridiculous. I'm like, oh yeah, ghosts and shit.
no, I mean, I will say that like for the time period. All right, so let's say that these two rodeo clowns did falsify the video 100%.
Right.
And, they used this one guy that made this crazy good suit, and they got another guy to walk around in the suit. Like, I mean, they should have really used that skill to get jobs, and I think that may have been like the point. Like,
Yeah.
I think that they were like really like, oh, we can get famous and we can do this. I mean, it really, like, that video is what everyone points to. Is like, oh, Bigfoot's real.
Yeah, it's the extreme of like something going viral. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it is known, and it's shit. When did you say
67, 1967.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, people still like refer
Yeah,
it or
that
reference
like,
it.
if you buy a fucking shirt that has Bigfoot on it, it's some version of that picture.
Yeah, that's
usually.
true.
Usually, because and that's another thing. You're telling me in 1967 we got the clearest video that we've ever gonna have of Bigfoot,
Yeah,
right?
that long ago.
That long ago,
right.
right? And I've always said, look, the older it is, the more likely I am to believe
yeah.
that it's real. And there's a shit ton of videos that come out, to this day, but they're always like shady, like off in the corner,
Right.
like
Right.
this and that, like, and that's another thing, man. There's always like, we have cameras set up in the woods all the time now. Like, hunters put up those stop motion cameras
where humans are nowhere around.
Yeah, and they're always like, oh, it's a stop motion camera, and like, if you look at other pictures that are taken by one of these like hunting cameras, it's like perfectly clear.
Oh, they're
like,
amazing.
It's taking a picture of exactly what it wants to take.
Well, it's how they
of.
capture all those like endangered animals and animals that are like nocturnal. Like, you can't be sitting there like, oh, here comes the fucking super,
Yeah.
endangered whatever animal. A human can't be there.
Right.
So their quality is unbelievable. I agree with you.
Right.
They would have caught a Bigfoot.
So they would have caught it. They would have taken a picture of it, like a good fucking picture.
A good
of
picture.
It. And here's the other thing: like, if it's in the water, I can see why we haven't found it.
That's
know
a
what
little
I'm
different.
saying?
Yeah, you're right.
If it's on like an island by itself, where it's
uninhabited.
very lightly inhabited or very low tech when it comes to
Right.
maybe they don't have fucking cameras on everything that they touch.
Right.
Then I can see us having some species of animal that have gone unnoticed, like with the cave bats in
I was
Kentucky.
going to say deep down in the caves. That's another one.
Yeah,
But that's under the ground.
That's
or in
and
water.
it's out of sight. It's out of the way. And these arguments that they're in the fucking Pacific Northwest in the woods. Yeah, but there's a lot of fucking people, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that go camping up there.
There's people
There's
that hunt this
loggers,
shit.
hunters. You're pretty close to fucking urban areas.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's another thing is like these people talk about them like walking up in their backyard. Like, come on, dude. If this thing walked up in your backyard, people would have hit it with a car.
People would have seen it.
Would have seen it. It's always like one dude who's had way too much wild turkey at 7:30 in the morning on the news.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot was here.
Well, dude, on that documentary or Hellier,
Yeah.
about the Kentucky Goblins, one of the guys went to like the first, I think it was in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and she's videoing, but he's wearing like a mic or whatever, and so you hear it, and they're all like, well, hell yeah, we saw the UFO, we done, blah, blah, and they're all like, whatever, and this guy's like, and I saw Bigfoot too, and I'm like, hold up, hold on, well, that dude needs to be like front and center. He saw an alien and Bigfoot.
Yeah, like, come on, buddy,
put this motherfucker
let's
on
hear
camera.
your whole story.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put the turkey down.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing, like this, so the one guy, the story I was telling you about the letters back and forth to the FBI, the one who didn't remember the conversation with the FBI,
right.
It should also be noted that he was convicted of tax fraud.
Solid. Source.
Like 87, he had to pay like $87,000 back to the IRS. So when he released his like findings, like his book on the findings,
I got to make 87 grand.
They were like, you get no royalties.
Oh yeah,
they just took all his money,
which
is like a sad
withheld.
story. This is a sad story, but I mean, he was also like, I mean, there was a lot of shit going on. Like it was like all the things kind of like piled up all at once. It was like, we're taking all your money, and he was like, yeah,
and Bigfoot's not real.
He was like, oh yeah, man, like the Yeti thing. Like I did see some people walk in the snow with their shoes off. Like I did. Okay. Like it was just like a whole bunch of, and like poor guy's like 93. He's probably just like, fuck it, man.
Tapping out.
Like I'm done with the fight. It's no longer a great challenge.
Yeah, good luck getting that money from me. I ain't got much time left.
So I mean, there's not a lot of things where I'm like, no.
Right.
Like 100% no. And I mean, I think the most that I can give Bigfoot, like maybe an 8% probability that it's actually existent.
8%?
Max.
Well, that's being nice.
Yeah, that's really me being as nice as possible.
I believe that there could be a bear that is very endangered or almost or possibly now extinct, but that somehow that's what some people who had similar stories could have seen, or it's literally like you said, somebody who's just doing it's a hoax.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It's either a bear or a person, right?
I just don't think.
I wish Bigfoot existed. That'd be fucking cool, but
dude,
I wish all that weird shit exists.
They'd be in zoos, man.
And that's really sad. You're right.
Yeah,
and they'd be way too human-like. It'd be really fucking depressing. Zoos are already depressing to me anyway.
Yeah. Well, zoos are just fucking terrible, man.
They are terrible.
Well, it's like, if you see the old school, like, turn of the century, like late 1800s, early 1900s version of like what the circus was.
Ugh.
And, then you kind of like fast forward to today and you're like, oh, we still do some horrible shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I'm surprised more lion tamers haven't been
eaten.
eaten.
Still exists.
Well, they're I don't think they. I watched that whole documentary on that shit. That was fucked. That was sad as hell.
The one about the trainer that got waxed by.
Yeah, dude. It's like, well, but more people should have been killed probably. Yeah. But I thought that they like aren't doing that anymore.
I don't know.
I don't know they'd have, what else would SeaWorld be if they stopped doing that shit. But fuck, dude, I don't know.
We've got jellyfish.
Yeah, awesome.
You guys want to come pet the jellyfish?
And a roller coaster because we're out of animals.
Yeah, we had to give them all back.
Oh shit!
But I mean, there's going to be a lot of fucking animals that I'm pretty sure that we're really getting ready to start like lining through some names.
I know
on the list when it comes to
those big hunters and shit like that. That stuff's horrible.
Well, not even that. Like, I mean, polar bears have like a 3-inch ice cube that they're hanging on to right now.
Yeah, right. Just based on environment.
Yeah. So I mean, there's going to be a whole.
We're helping. You know what I mean? Like it's all of it's humanity's fault.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand the process. I understand that we're the fucking villain of the story.
We're the problem.
and us being white males, like we are definitely the proprietor of
Guilty.
the world's destruction. But it's, I mean, I'm not out in the backyard burning styrofoam every day or anything.
Right. I don't use Starbucks straws anymore.
Yeah. Okay. I'm saving them turtles.
They've replaced it with plastic lids.
Yeah. So it's just, it's if it's not one thing, it's another.
I know.
So, but I mean, I feel like the it's gonna our generation's Bigfoot is going to quickly turn into like the next generation. It's going to be like, oh, I saw a polar bear.
Yeah, right.
Like
I thought they were extinct.
I
didn't think they were. It was like a fucking woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be dinosaurs.
I saw two squirrels humping a leopard. Like what?
Holy shit.
Like what the fuck is happening? So I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened.
Squirrels humping a
I'm
leopard.
pretty sure that's what happened to unicorns. Like they existed and then we just hunted them off or something.
We just killed them all.
We just killed them all.
Yeah, they sold the horns.
Yeah.
Like fucking rhino
Yeah.
tusks and elephant tusks and shit.
I'm sure they'll like unearth some statues like, oh look, it's a unicorn, and then they're gonna break it open and be like, oh no shit, there was a real unicorn
that was
on the
actually
inside.
a unicorn.
Yeah,
Fuck.
they just fucking walled it up. Like, no, did you hear about that in the Buddha statue? Like
No.
that is like one of the coolest stories. Like they found this ancient Buddha statue that people had been like praying to and using to like meditate with and shit. Well,
like in a temple?
They
Like it
did
was-
like a scan of it, and it like actually had a human being's skeleton on the inside of it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was pretty fucked up. So
Wow.
I was
Was it
like
recently?
that. Yeah, they just it's like a 4,500-year-old skeleton or some shit. I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how old. Like, don't quote me on the 4,500.
China's old, dude.
Well, don't quote me on the 4,500-year-old
Well, right,
thing.
right.
But like,
It's
it's an old statue with an older dead dude on the inside of it.
Wow.
Yeah, which is a much more compelling story to me than Bigfoot.
Yeah, dude. I want to read about that.
So
Next
you burn your suggestion on Bigfoot. This is what you get.
way to go, John.
Ridiculed.
Yeah. Well, dude, hey, John Ball, for real. That's
No,
my brother,
I'm just-
so we can give him shit. But thank you for the suggestion because eventually Bigfoot was going to come out, dude.
Yeah,
There's
no,
way for it not to.
I'm giving you a hard way to go only for the reason of I think it just I want there to be a story.
Yeah, right.
I don't.
Well, the stories. The thing is I didn't think you were going to bring something, and I was going to go, "Oh, holy shit! I didn't know that."
Yeah.
Like I didn't know some of the details, but the story is this: people say it's Bigfoot, and other people say it's either a bear or a monkey, maybe.
I feel
or
like the people who believe in Bigfoot,
humans.
all the stuff that I said is the reason that they're going to believe in Bigfoot, and it doesn't matter what I say.
It doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like
They have proof, man.
like the point of the muscle
Yeah,
structure in
Right.
the video.
I saw shoulders, and it's
you know-
6 foot tall. But it's 10 foot tall. If a human was 6 foot, then
Yeah.
that, you could see in the camera that if.
And
they recorrect. Dude, some of the shows, I watched one show where they're like, every episode, they have like an encounter.
yeah.
And I'm like, hold on.
Well, it's like one of those
It's in the dark.
one of those ghost hunter shows. It's always like, did you hear that?
It's literally Ghost Adventures. I love that show because it's entertaining. And it's not like the Ghost Hunters, which is the original one or thing. Maybe it's not original, but like they never caught anything. Like on like half of the time, it was like, all right.
Here's my new pitch to you, man. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pitch our own show to the History Channel, and we're gonna hunt wild meth heads.
Wild method.
We're just gonna go to southern Indiana.
We don't have to go far, man.
Yeah, with a camera crew, and we're gonna be like, we're looking for the. Oh, there was. There he went. There
This show's going to be like active.
active.
And shit, if we go to Punderson Manor,
Yeah.
they could be, maybe it's a cheap ass place. It could be hanging around there.
Yeah, exactly.
Kill two birds with one stone. By the way, I was watching, what the fuck, some video where like PETA was on a show and they were like trying to take away all those sayings, like kill two birds with one stone. They want to say like,
Do two things at one.
yeah, they're like all the like anything that has a negative connotation and an animal. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, I'm all for animal. Like,
I'll do a whole episode on how hypocritical fucking PETA is. You guys suggest it, I'll fucking do it. I'm not just going to take it on myself because I know there's a shit ton of stuff that PETA does that's really fucked up.
yeah,
But and anti-animal, by the way. But
yeah. They were trying to stop calling them pets, and I was like, pet is in the name.
yeah.
PETA, PETA.
Pet,
No, I'm not going to get in that. Yeah, no, I don't want you
My
to
sister
do
has-
an episode
my-
on PETA, dude.
my sister got me a shirt that says PETA, and it says people for the eating of tasty animals.
Jeez, of course.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm against animal cruelty. Don't get me wrong, big time. Like fucking A. It's for me. We've talked about it. I hate seeing an animal die in a movie more than I do a human.
most of the time, yeah.
But yeah, PETA is pretty wild.
So, I don't know, man. I would kill Bigfoot.
I would kill Bigfoot.
Yeah. I'll get a shirt.
Give me that Bigfoot money.
Give me that Bigfoot money.
check.
Bigfoot check.
Some patty check.
Yeah, exactly, man.
All right, so there it is. Another case cracked.
I don't know.
There was no way that this is the way it was going to go.
This was the way that this was always going to go. And this is, I think, kind of why I was reluctant to do the episode is because, I don't really feel that there's a good counter side. Everybody who's on the other side of this than me, like, it's just, I don't believe anything they have to say.
You can't tell them otherwise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to change their mind.
No.
And they're not going to change ours.
No, exactly. So
we're to stand still.
Right. I mean, I'll still hang out with you at a party.
Yeah, and I'll still watch your fucking Bigfoot videos because they're entertaining.
I won't, but he will. I will. I won't.
Oh, shit. All right, cool.
But that's it.
Bigfoot, that's
Bigfoot,
it.
Cave bats of Kentucky.
The end.
Wow, wow.
Next week, you know what? I was going to give you, I had a couple of them on my list for you to choose from, but we're using it to record. So we're trying to put some video on YouTube.
Trying to get the YouTube shit together.
We're trying to record with the phone because it's pretty good quality. So I can't really look at my list right now.
No, I'm going to do it. I'll do the toy box.
Oh, shit. I already did give you that one.
Yeah, I'll do toy box next. I've already done some research on it. I'm not.
Yeah. He's fucked.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Next week.
Next week.
Toy box. All right. Good shit, man.